The Xenobiology Research Station Epsilon had studied creatures from 10,000 worlds. They'd contained acid-blooded predators, telepathic parasites, and beings that existed in 4 dimensions. They thought they were prepared for anything. Then they received the Earth specimens. Director Vector examined the manifest with his compound eyes. 12 containers from the Death World Earth. Standard biological samples. Placed them in Containment Level 2. His assistant, a young Prelian named Kyra, hesitated. "Sir, shouldn't Earth specimens require maximum containment? It's a Class 12 Death World." "Nonsense." Vector waved a crystalline appendage dismissively. "These are just animals. Non-sapient. How dangerous could they be?" Those words would haunt him forever. Container 1 held what humans called honey badgers. The file described them as small mammals. Within 6 hours, they chewed through titanium alloy walls, killed 2 guard robots, and established a territory in the ventilation system. When security tried to gas them, they seemed to get angrier. Container 2, geese. The documentation said waterfowl. These white-feathered demons attacked anything that moved, somehow sensing fear across species barriers. Dr. Hessick, a 12-foot-tall warrior caste Vraxian, was found cowering in a supply closet, crying about the honking. Container 3 was labeled simply Cat. It escaped immediately. No one saw how. The containment unit was still locked, still sealed, with no breaches. The cat was simply gone. They found it later in the director's office, having somehow deleted 3 months of research data while sitting on the keyboard. "How?" Vector demanded, watching security footage of the cat teleporting through walls. "It's not teleportation," Kyra said weakly. "According to the humans' notes, cats just do this. They call it being liquid." Container 4 held Australian spiders. The research team took one look at the briefing. Ambush predators that can survive anywhere, featuring neurotoxins that cause excruciating death, and voted unanimously to jettison the entire container into the nearest star. The container was marked, successfully studied, without ever being opened. Container 5, mosquitoes. Small flying insects. The file read, "Harmless." They escaped through microscopic gaps and somehow found every species equivalent of blood. The station's medical bay overflowed with itching, miserable scientists. The mosquitoes reproduced exponentially. Within days, they were everywhere. Container 6 contained something called a Canada goose, apparently different from regular geese. It broke senior researcher Thax's arm. Thax was made of living stone. Container 7, octopus. It dismantled its enclosure from the inside, rewired the locking mechanism, and was found in the cafeteria, having opened every sealed food container. When they tried to recapture it, it changed colors, squeezed through a 2-inch pipe, and vanished into the station's water system. It began appearing on security cameras in different sections, almost like it was taunting them. Container 8 held murder hornets. The team read murder in the name and immediately shipped them back to Earth with an apology note. Container 9, raccoons. Within one night, they'd figured out the station's security codes, raided the experimental weapons vault, and built what could only be described as a fortress out of stolen supplies. Security tried negotiating. The raccoons threw trash at them. Container 10 was supposed to contain chimps. It was empty except for a note. They let themselves out during transport. Good luck. Earth Containment Team. The chimps were discovered 3 days later, having taken over the station's communication array, and somehow ordered 200 pounds of bananas from a nearby trade vessel. Container 11. Dolphins. Intelligent marine mammals, the briefing said. What it didn't mention was their capacity for psychological warfare. They figured out each researcher's personal fears within hours and exploited them mercilessly. Dr. Yillick still couldn't explain how they knew about her childhood trauma with aquatic environments. Container 12 held a single crow. It learned to mimic the station's alarm system, causing 17 evacuations. It then figured out how to use the credit system and bought shiny objects from the station's automated vendors. When they tried to study its intelligence, it studied them back, maintaining uncomfortably long eye contact while taking notes with a stolen stylus. The final report, submitted by a traumatized director Vector, read, Earth's fauna cannot be contained by conventional means. They display problem-solving abilities that defy their supposed non-sapient status. They treat maximum security like mild inconvenience. Recommendation: classify Earth creatures as do not study and add a warning. These organisms evolved on a world where everything tries to kill everything else. They survived. That should tell you enough. The station was decommissioned. The Earth creatures were respectfully returned home, except for the cat. It refused to leave. The station now belongs to it. The galactic scientific community learned a valuable lesson. Never, ever, underestimate anything from Earth. Not even the harmless ones. Especially not the harmless ones.